Life Transformation for the New Earth. That is the coaching that I offer, and it's also the program that I've developed called Your Last Development Program. Yes, we are moving into a new earth. That's why it has been a little chaotic for all of us, but I will explain how I know this. I've been a coach for more than 35 years, and I'm also a mystic, a sage, and a spiritual channel. Now, half of that I didn't keep public for a long time because I just used it to transform my life. That's what I've done. I'm 72 years old, and I began doing this work in 1988. And what it did, I would receive information, and it transformed my life through every difficulty, every challenge, every fear, and I had more than most people can imagine. But what is occurring now is that our world is changing. And as I started to receive this information, I said, oh, I have to change now. And I didn't know what I had. Like most people do not know what they possess, which is why we take programs, courses, go to mentors, counselors, or whatever it is. Well, that's what I've done for more than 35 years. And I've also done more public personal development work than anybody can imagine. I've done so many programs, all of that, which is why I know, well, this is the last one anyone would ever need. What's happening in our world is that we're trying to ascend, we're trying to become better, but it is about each person. It is about the individual. Every person is born with something within them that is so valuable and needed in the world. But we don't always get there. I almost didn't get there because I wasn't going to let out what I've achieved. That's what a lot of us do. We will move through difficulties, challenges in our lives, and then we become embarrassed or afraid of them, and then we hide them away. When that was the value that we developed because we moved through that. And that's what I've done, which is why in my work, I talk about this all the time, because there's nothing that someone could bring me or that they wouldn't encounter a solution, they wouldn't find a solution to in my program. There's nothing, because I've done all of that, which is why I can talk about it so boldly and why I guarantee the results. Because see, it's all in your mind. You've heard that forever. You come into the world with a program, a blueprint. But unfortunately, you might have been programmed by others, and that's usually your parents, your ancestors, or people around you, where you went to school, how you grew up. But if you're if you're unable to change that programming, then you have this life that doesn't go anywhere. And I've seen that because I've done it. And I've devoted my life now, because it's far more important in our world for people to become happy and successful. That's it. That's all you got to do, is become happy and successful. But the deal is you got to let go of all the old stuff. And that is what our world is doing now, which is why it's chaotic. You will see a split happening. You've seen it already. And that split will be with people who want to keep things the way that they were a long time ago, and people who are trying to move forward. And you will know what you're doing by the energy you're offering. And if the energy that you're offering is of hatred and lower negative energies, then you're contributing to the chaos that exists in our world. However, if you decide you're going to focus on who you are, that you're going to move through your restrictions and your limiting beliefs and doubts and start to love yourself, you're offering a new energy to our world. Now, you can go and study the changes of evolution, ages of planetary changes, all that stuff. You can find it in science. You can find it in astronomy. You can find it in everything. Astrology, even. You can see things that have never happened. And if you could understand that we moved into a period that had never occurred in our world, more than 2,000 years ago, nothing like this had happened. So that's why the energies, because we're all affected by energy, were so intense, and we might have felt we were lost. People started changing, going in new directions, deciding that their relationships no longer worked, or they wanted a new career, whatever it was. You are affected by what's going on in the world. But you're also supposed to be happy. You're supposed to live a magnificent life, and the only reason anyone doesn't do that is because they haven't uncovered who they are. There's no other reason than that. Because you were born with everything that you needed. But sometimes we will judge ourselves and our experiences, and that's what I did. And then you don't find the gift that you have that you could give back to the world, and you don't cause your life to be what it could be. Yes, we were born with challenges that we have to move through. I had more than you can possibly imagine. But once I moved through them, and it was all in my mind, because I used my mind to heal so much, including physical things. It's all mind-body connection, everything. Even your success is connected to your thinking. There's no one born with more ability than you. It just isn't. It's just how you have chosen to use the ability that you have, and you might have been programmed to not use that, which is why you have to have something that's going to change that for you. I put my program together in a way because it's everything that I work through in my entire life. I put it together in a way that it gives you something to do every day. I use the ideas of a Carl Jung and all the other philosophers that came before, because they figured out how we change. They figured out how neuroscience, our brains, we don't do anything without the way that our neuroscience operates, and we control that. We didn't do that when we were younger. From 1 to 7 we were programmed, but now we have the opportunity to change it. And I can say this now because when I put my program together, I doubted it as well as you did, because I didn't know that I had this, but I discovered in 2021 that I had this program because I've been receiving this information forever. And when I was on a walk, I heard from my guides, that's how I receive information, that you had everything, that they gave it to. I went back and I found it, and I still had to test it. So I put together a program in December of 2021, and it was brilliant. People came out and blew me away because they had changed. Of course that would have worked because I'm able to access universal information. I could never have explained that to people earlier on, which is why I tried to hide it for 19 years, but it was transforming my life. But I'm no longer doing that because I know where our world is going. We have about another year of moving through this change, and it's going to be a little bumpy, but it can be better if more people decide to get out of their own way and become happy and successful. I'm saying that because if you understand the energetic change that is going on now, you will understand how important it is for you to become happy and successful. And what I'm doing is working with those people now to cause that to happen, because I know energetically it will change our world. And it's so fulfilling for me because I never want to see anybody go through what I had to move through in my life. And there's no reason to, because then you start to form ideas, beliefs, and empowerment things that you can give back to others. That's how evolution works, and that's what I'm doing. But we are moving into a new earth, so just be aware that you're going to see it happening, and I'm going to be extending, I'm taking my program and I'm making it a year long so that people can stay in it as long as they like, because it's always a cognitive change that we have to move through in our lives to become our best selves. And it works brilliantly when you do it.